Welcome to the Politricks Watch. This is Sir P. Today, we're going to talk about youth, especially young men and badness. We're going to talk about intention versus outcome. A lot of laws in many countries make it almost impossible for, since the old 14-year-old that died is still a relatively fresh topic in enough people's mind. Let's just use 14-year-old. I'm going to use that number. Most countries, it's almost impossible for really young people for jail, and the intention is because the young people and the youth and people are make mistakes, and that's the intention. But the outcome is that it helps recruit more youths into gangs. Yes, the intention is to help out youths and not make things difficult for them later on in life, but the outcome is that it recruits more youths. It is counterproductive. This one is going to be one of them topics they have to put your emotions aside and put on your logical hat, your rational hat. Making it harder for young people, especially young men, get serious punishment recruits more young men and lead to more young men getting killed in a badness. They could even draw upon Sweden, the home of activism, who is currently struggling with their murder situation. Can you imagine that? Sweden? They're going to show now Sweden has turned to legislation. Sweden has even changed their own laws to make it possible now where young people can go to jail one time they couldn't. Guess what the Swedish gang them do? Just recruit their youths. And not Sweden alone. When I'm going to that with a Patreon birthday shout out, this one going out to governor. No, obviously not the waste man DJ. Remember the one that skin off him teeth on the stage with him boss, Puss in Boots. And he may say me I go dead. Of course, all laughing stopped December 2022. When them actually face death and still pain and suffering when it comes. Remember the first time, or one of the early time, the real governor, the Patreon squad governor linked me. So yo, what kind of name that? Man, I showed myself from way back in the day, the mother name, and I show me some things I put out from them time there. Name circle, the name Governor Blacks. Them time there, the third stain DJ boy, the name Diablo. So I say, oh, a real things. Long time your name Governor. You are the real governor. Patreon squad. Governor. Real deal. Big up yourself, bro. Hope you enjoy yourself. Live long and prosper. Saying, don't know reason all the time, so soon hear from you. I could talk about the video now. I could talk about the meat of the matter. Intention versus outcome of making it very hard for youth face serious consequences for their actions. The simpleton the man who go sit that one out. I say, we all need the thinking people right now, because it's a serious topic and serious level of reasoning for go on. And so that means that the people who they think the real sprat get brown because of cake soap. Anybody at all who have so little shame that they would call themselves an eye-clowning fan. Them type of people, you're going to go sit that one out. People who have sense to work with now. If you think about it, it's common sense. You see, I am focusing on the youth, not child, youth. I talk about teenage. I talk about young adult. I'm not talking about an actual child here. That's why I say simpleton this one out. I'm not talking about a 4-year-old or 5-year-old. And ironically, we hold 4-year-old and 5-year-old accountable, because if you see a pitney or something, you tell them, oh, tap that way out, you know, in a sense. You will say that to a 5-year-old. People would actually fling on lick on them 5-year-old, 6-year-old. Bloof! You hear that? What you do? I told you already that the young male is the most endangered of all species. It's not women. Right? It's a false narrative that the Jamaican woman is somehow getting eradicated. The most endangered of all. You know, on Discovery Channel, them talk about the species and the species that. Imagine dogs were humans, right, and they were the ones watching us on Discovery Channel. Right? They would be saying that the young male is the most endangered of species. That is who kill and get killed the most in our badness. Men in general get killed more. But we know society don't really care about men and they don't care about boys, even though they try and virtue signal to disguise this fact. Stop the violence against women. You've never seen a stop the violence against young men campaign ever. Any men for that matter. Men are cannon fathers. Boys are cannon fathers. If we really care about them, when we put in policies that actually deliver real results and outcomes. Not things that make you feel good and sound good, but the youth them full up. Don't got the mark. Now, just to run the same page here. All crimes are not equal in the scope of how serious, right, it is. A youth who thief a sneakers off of one wall where somebody wash is not in the same category as a youth who one long a woman rape her and shot her in her head. For petty crimes, for especially non-violent crimes, I am all for youth offenders getting another chance. I am all for it. A 14-year-old, 15-year-old youth who did some petty foolishness, right? Some non-violent crimes, some little idle, you know, especially boy pitting the idle. When them reach, you know, maybe 18, 21, whatever we can say, alright, we're going to scrap that off of your record and give another chance at life. I'm all for that. But that's for petty crimes. Murder, things like them there, I'm sorry, has to be treated the same as an adult. When topics like this come up, people use emotionally charged arguments to try and shame you. Oh my God, oh, so you want babies to go to prison? That boy's not a baby. A 14-year-old boy is not a baby. You can't just make up words. You cannot just use words how you feel. You cannot just, oh, I'm 15 but I identify as a 2-year-old. That's how you get the madness going on now all over the world. Right? The man in the seat bag will tell us you must treat him like him a Kelly Rowland. Because him identify. Same have an eagle eye. Not on my watch. He's not a baby. Right. A teenage boy can literally take a life, and if him lay down with a woman, he can't help make a life. You hate the babies. You want the babies to go to prison. It's the same tactic they use when you try and hold women accountable. They say, oh, so you raise a valid point, right? And they counter by saying, oh, you just hate women. A shaming tactic, emotionally charged arguments. Understand this, anywhere you go in the world, gangs love youths. There's nothing a gang love more than a young man, a young highly back youth. Testosterone all over him body. Brave. But you know why? Gang leaders really love youths. Because gang leaders know the law and they know say youths get away with crime easier. That way they're more effective because they have more quote-unquote foot soldiers on the ground more often because they're not losing them for extended periods of time. Never telling how Sweden learned this the hard way. let's get something straight. Listen. Modern day youths are more exposed than my generation and the generation before me, and keep going on the line. The current modern day Jamaican youth, the current teenager is more exposed. Right? Them know more things. Right? They are more aware of more things than previous generations. They have access to more information. No found to just start learning how to use computer where they barely know how to use smartphone. On hold the phone like on hand them nook. Take how long to figure out this. You just pass the phone, right, to your 13-year-old nephew, and him just look at it and just everything fixed. You ask him about some topic, him know about the topic. Topic where you never know about till you're 30. These youths are way more advanced than generation before. There is no comparison. The idea that a teenage youth don't know wrong from right is farcical. They're not babies. This is how no fun. Watch these youths turn into monsters and down the watch. Because I want to see the boy drift towards mayhem. I want to sit down there, but he's just a baby. Until it's too late. Now he's sci-fi, most wanted. The DJ telling a long time, a juvenile run downtown. Juvenile. Listen, Mr. Activist, El Salvador proved my theory. They just removed the 87s from off of the streets. Right? Them take all of the done them in a prison, put them in a separate part. No communication with the rest of the gang. Murders dropped significantly. It wasn't the whole of El Salvador that commit murder, it was a small minority. Once they were removed from the quote-unquote battlefield, the game done. What do you have to show for your theories? Failure after failure. Social intervention. Enough country will preach about this and preach about that don't even know about badness. It's like a parent who get lucky and have a well-disciplined child. You know, you have some people who just inherently disciplined. All if their mother disappear, or their father disappear for 10 years, then just wallet. If they're inherently disciplined. Right? The way them carry themselves, everything about them, it's just innate. Right? Some parent lucky say no. Never been tested by them pitney. But then some parent get a rebellious pitney. And I try fix the rebelliousness. That's how some countries stay. Enough countries, enough leaders inherit a country. We're just people them those different. Or badness not one and. But when countries with low murder rate all them life, I try to tell countries with crime problem of work, it don't work because guess what? It's easy to be woke when it's affected. It's easy to be woke when it's affected. When countries with extremely low murder rate, I tell countries like Jamaica and Trinidad and El Salvador to operate, them not know what I'm talking about. When they're like, oh, don't change legislation, use social intervention. What happens when one of them countries end up start up their own crime problem? Lesser punishment for youths make more youths get joined in a badness, my gang. Before me go any further, I give you a football analogy. Because me like make sure say everybody can understand what I say. Whether them have a PhD or them drop out in a grade 4. A game of football, you have the national team. Take the Jamaica national team then. Take the French national team, Brazil national team. You see someone play for them country one time, them are 16 years old, 17 years old. Then play for the national team, the big side. Remember saying in football you have under 18, under 21, under this, under that. You have some youth will skip all that and they're so good, then play for the national side as a teenager. When them a play a ball game, you have red card and yellow card. If you get a red, you come off of the pitch. Show me where in a football liberty somebody say. If you are under 18 and you broke a man's foot and get a red, you stay up on the pitch. Show me where that exists. It doesn't. Once you play a ball game, whether you're 16, 17 or 30, you adhere to the same rules and the same punishment. That's how badness work. Badness is the sport. Once you're in a badness, you are now subjected to the same rules and the same punishment. Broke a man foot, red card, come off of the pitch. Nobody says, oh, but he's only 16. It's youthful exuberance. Sure, he broke Messi's foot and Messi can't play ball again. But he's only 16. Don't give him a red card. And the referee said, yeah, that's true. Alright, 17 years old. Alright, stay up on the pitch, bro, even though you just broke Kevin De Bruyne's foot. That would be ridiculous. Same thing in badness. A 15-year-old will bust a man head open with a 9mm. Right. And a 30-year-old who bust a man head a 9mm. Same outcome, same results, same punishment. Put your feelings aside. A child should stay in the place of a child. If you have a bust gun and a lack of ends, then clearly you don't think you're a child. You think you're a man, so you get treated like a man. That was one of the first lessons I ever learned. That was one of the first lessons I ever learned from older males in my community when I grew up. This is why I tell them, I say, a lot of things they might go on the Iron Man, a lot of it have to do with the fact that Iron men, right, they just don't make them like they used to. Right. One of the first lessons I ever learned is if you're going like you're a big man, they're going to treat you like you're a big man. A child stay in the place of a child. Do you know what a child looks like? In African places, when they talk about child soldiers, do you know what they look like? They mean actual child soldiers. Like 6, 7, 8-year-old youth with a gun taller than the youth who hold the gun. You, when them talk about child soldiers in some of the African civil wars and the Middle East and them place there, the youth don't even have a single strand of hair on them arm. Him can't breathe nothing. That's a child soldier. Them 14, 15, 16-year-old youth in the Iron Man and Trinidad who bust out head top, them they are not child. How do you deal with a woke activist who try to push this argument? You have to put it back on them because they don't actually care about Lariston or Marshpenwood or Salt Spring. They are virtue signaling, they're speaking, they want to sound deep. Like some kind of, like the arguments is basically some kind of pious attitude of, oh well, I'm just so right, I see truth and I put it back on them. If today after hearing this video and you're having a debate at work by the water fountain, ask your female co-worker, since you claim say 15-year-old boy, a child, a baby, and they know if you go to jail for murder, how about one of them rape you and not come outside? Oh, I bet that one they will touch a nerve because they care about that. They care about them body. They don't care about your dead body. They don't care about your mother and your brother dead body will lay down in a homestead, but they care about their body. So how about this? If a 14-year-old boy will and rape you and police come for him, would you tell the police that no, don't carry him to jail because he's only 14? Rubbish. They would ask for his head. Because the sanctity of their body has been violated and their body is precious. But your life should be able to be taken freely by a 14-year-old and nothing have come out of it. Because it's a baby. I tell the youths them in my family all the time. Especially the boy them. We talk like you have sense in the boy. Act like you have sense. I see the way how they act. Especially the one them will live with their mother. And sometimes they get to come around me or some other man of the family. I see how they act different. When they run their mother, they go in on a sense. As soon as they come around me, they start thinking and acting. They say, oh, So don't know better. But when you realize say another yard they can get to with this and the yard they can get to with that. Boy, act like you have sense. You know full well. So sticking up somebody and take with them things. It's a crime. You know full well. Forcing yourself on a woman who don't want you. It's a grave offense. You know full well. Take gun, go shot man. Bankana. It's an extremely serious offense. You have sense, boy. Don't make nobody tell you. Don't make a granny tell you say you're just a baby. You're not. In days gone by, if war lag one, you have to put on a helmet and go defend your country. Teenage boys, that the level of energy there. Talk about Sweden now. Sweden, the land of the walktivists. Sweden is currently a cesspool. Murder and violence, especially by European standards. Still not reach Trinidad level. You know reach El Salvador Ironman level. But by their standards and Western Europe standards, Sweden is a hellhole right now. They're struggling to deal with the crime. Sweden is one of the wokest countries in the world. Sweden is a country where their quote-unquote social safety net is so good enough people just stop work. My man just will collect them money from the government and them think America call it welfare or them call it benefits check, whatever. Government to give this and give this and give this and that free and that free and that free. But you too want fast money. The business boy you look at government check. You don't want to be done okay with government check. Sweden struggling. Last me look, Sweden have the second highest murder rate. Now Europe, only Albania in front of them. Albania. Look on the screen right there. Execution style shootings carried out by quote unquote child soldiers. Apartment buildings rocked by bombings. Sweden. Apartment buildings that get bombed. Innocent relatives targeted in vendettas. Can't catch Quagga, catch him shot. Sweden confused, them they used to them style there. I don't know if people want to fight the war in Sweden actually come from Sweden. So that might be strange to Swedish people, but for other countries and other people, that's a normal thing in the feeling culture, so just want to reach them. And the morning news summarizing the night's death toll all have become disturbingly routine in the normally quiet country. When Sweden was preaching to the world about social intervention, it was a quiet country. Just like the parent who did have a quiet child. The Prime Minister, Ulf Kristersson, said, and I quote, "No other country in Europe is seeing anything like this," as he vowed to defeat the gangs. Once again, I'm not telling you about Rwanda, Gambia, Pakistan, Palestine, Egypt. We're talking about Sweden. One of the poster children for ideal societies. Listen to that part here. Swedish legislation was not designed for gang wars and child soldiers, but we're changing that now. Why? Don't change legislation, bro. Use more social intervention. Remember, when I say a legislation I go use tackling gangs, what them say? Legislation ain't gonna do nothing. It's just what we need is social intervention. But Sweden is the home of social intervention and it's not working. Apartments getting bombed. Guess what Sweden do? There was a time if you're like 18 and all 18, 19-year-old couldn't go to jail in Sweden one time. Guess what the gangs them do? Start recruit them. So then Sweden changed the law to make 18-year-old them can't go to prison. Guess what the gang them do? They went even younger. In Sweden, right, 17, 16, 15, 14-year-old can't go jail. Can't go jail. So you know what the gang them start do? Recruit them. See it up on your screen? Police last year investigated 336 15 to 17-year-olds while having illegal firearms 8 times more than a decade ago. 8 times more than a decade ago. Gangs now recruit kids to carry out contract killings, some younger than 15, knowing they can't be jailed. The legislation backfired. Because as soon as gangs realized that a 15-year-old can't go jail, they recruited more 15-year-olds. The gangs are smarter than the politicians. Go back to the football analogy. If you tell me say me can put a 15-year-old ball up on the national side and he can broke any man's foot and get a red card or suspension, Brazil can't beat me, Argentina can't beat me, because in our team with 21 players, me have at least one good 10 juvenile, and their sole purpose is to broke Messi foot, broke Cristiano. As before, the plan before the game, me not talk about no 4-4-2, me not talk about no 4-3-3. Me I say you, highly back juvenile over there, sir. Soon as the game start, look for Kevin De Bruyne. Kick out the whole line instep. I'm gonna have more see him foot fly off. Alright, boss. Oh, look at that. De Bruyne foot broke. Fly off, gone nice stands. I might juvenile give a step on. If I can just keep damaging others with no consequences, you can't beat me. No matter how good your team is. That is the mindset the gang use. Since younger people get less punishment, recruit more younger people. So this legislation that is supposed to protect youths and help youths, hurt youths because it makes them a target for gangs. Because no gangs want more youths. Because if me realize say, me have 287, one at 15 and one at 50, the 50-year-old I go get 30 years to murder. And the 15-year-old I go get 6 months. Why would I want more 50-year-olds? But I fool up my gang at 15-year-olds. Because at worst, I might lose my 87 for 6 months. Then I'm back in the field. Back to quote-unquote work. Intention versus outcomes. The Swedish learned this the hard way. Jamaica learned this the hard way. Look on your screen again, no man. Quote-unquote child soldiers and blood feuds. Sweden, look on this, police seeing more and younger children recruited into gangs. Every gang knows say, look who you get targeted less, police stop them and search them less, and them we are bringing for do this and them we are bringing. If the legislation treated the 15-year-old the same as the 50-year-old, then there'll be no incentive to go after a 15-year-old. Because one of the disadvantages of a gang recruiting younger men is that them wilder. So even the gang sometimes can't tame them. And the things that bring pressure on the gang. Well, let's not listen to me. Sometimes they do some things where the Dan never even authorize. But they tolerate the wildness because the pro greatly outweigh the cons. Police seeing more and younger children. This is Sweden. Not Trinidad. This is Billy Joe place. Baffled by way master. Sweden. Turn to legislation. So So now, guess what they're trying to do now? Before they make it so that's 18-year-old can go prison. Now them realize, say, 17 and under can go jail. Guess what they're now trying to do? Make it so that them can go jail. And again, don't use the word child lightly, Mr. Woke. Child soldiers in Africa doing many of those civil wars. 6-year-old with an AK, the muzzle of the AK, I hang over him head. That's a child soldier. A big highly back 15-year-old boy and a child soldier. You see, some of them highly back teenage boy, we have to start put them right on site and make them start lift up mouth and them saying. This all about baby argument. Cut the crap. That they will have energy there and I level each up none of them meet a back, we have to start put them on some site. Right? When they mix mouth and lift up the cement. It's all about snowflake business. Oh, he's only 15 years old, he mean can't work on the site. What do you mean he can't work on the site? 15-year-old can't lift up cement bag. No, this is how them found out. Oh my God, you hear that? The little YouTuber is supporting child labor. Child labor. Child labor. Again, them just throw out the word child. A 15-year-old boy is not a child. A 15-year-old boy can go look work. Telling a 6-year-old to go up on a site go lift cement is child labor. But some big highly back 15-year-old boy in the community have nothing to do. Boy go hold that cement and that shovel there. Enough youth school they make for them. Once them understand basic mathematics and them know if to communicate and they can write and read and look on a contract and read things and understand what they must say. Once that done, somebody need to have to just go up on a work site, yeah man. Somebody need to have to take up a trade. Cause we not pressure for the youth them to turn at things where them just not capable of doing. We not try pressure youth to go turn doctor and scientist and some of the youth them, right, and them gift that. Them gift have to go draw a wire out a wall and fix PVC pipe and mix mortar and build concrete and flash off wall. That's a them thing. If a youth is capable and willing to work, and them see the school thing now go work out for him, man, make the youth go work on a site, yeah, man. Make the youth start early. Put him in early in some program where him can, apprenticeship program where him can go work with a mechanic where know him I do and learn something. Or each upside down electrician and learn something. I saw enough for do it. Stop talking about 16-year-old and child labor and a child labor that. 15-year-old and a child labor. 15-year-old, when time we are 15, right, we lift up things just like the big man then. When any heavy project go on in the community, we did the right side of them and work same way. Man, till you grab that shovel here, you have to grab the shovel. Them all up a snowflake pansy I want to raise nowadays. But 15 is a child labor. That's not a child. 15-year-old can breathe, man. Ear on them arm, ear upon him face, and no matter of fact, them, when me look on my family, them, the youth in my family, them youth, physically, some of them, I tell them all the time, some of them go play in the NBA, some of them go play at NFL. Boy, them big and strong and rusty. If you even try to wrestle with some of them, you might chew out all your back to rot it. I don't know for the food or what. I don't know for the GMO food or but them meat nowadays a different level. Let's call it what it is, Mr. Woke. Now for the people when you see this, you can't do that because let's just call it what it is. You're weak. And you hide this weakness behind virtue signaling and fake pious dogma. There is an issue at hand. You claim you want to tackle it, but you're not willing to do what is necessary. You see, for example, there's a tree in front of you, you want to cut down the tree. But then you swing the axe 2 times and you realize that you're not strong enough to cut down the tree. So now you tell yourself and others that it's because you don't want to hurt the tree. When in reality, it's because you're too weak to swing the axe. So it's easier. If you say, oh, well, I just think it's just inherently wrong and I love the tree. You don't love no tree, you just can't cut down the tree because you're weak. But you're not going to tell people that you're weak. That's the thing enough for your leaders, they're weak. They see the issue, they actually can't tackle it, they can't deal with it. So they go behind a fake pious stance. Oh well, I'm like so righteous and, you know, as somebody who's so like next level deep, I just don't think that we should, you know, because, man, you can't fix the issue. You're weak. It's either you can't do it, Patreon squad, finish the rest of the month. It's either you can't do it or, yeah, finish the rest of the month. Anyway, I rest my case. I have a couple units on for sale, so I'm going to beat them and wash them off and get them ready. Be customers. Patreon squad, big up on yourself. Yeah, you don't know. More live. Vulture squad, see you circling. Bless.